It's a sunny but blustery day, and in the end of June, and I thought it might be a good time for a new garden update. So, since the last video, I've started a new job, which means I have a lot less time to put into the garden. And so what you see before you is the half-finished new fence. The old one, still have a piece of it here, looks like this. So it's quite an improvement, but I've still quite a bit to go. Hopefully I can get some done this weekend. Well, for look at what's going on here. Garlic is doing fine. I think it looks quite dry. It's incredibly dry. I never experienced such a dry summer. I think it rained quite a lot 1.5-2 weeks ago. And before that, probably over a month, and nothing since. So, but this might just be ready soon. I have a hard time resisting the temptation to cheat and see what it looks like. But it looks good. Might be done soon, and that's incredibly early. Usually the end of July. Plain leaf parsley is doing well, and the artichokes. Haven't watered these much, but I assume they find water quite deep down anyway. And these are really starting to grow now and sending out the tendrils. These are my gourds, which means I have to actually finish the supports and tie it down. And it's it's beginning to climb here. Probably likes the warm weather, at least. Pumpkins are growing too, at least 2 of the plants really stretching out now, and they are actually starting to have some female flowers. I think these are. I usually start with flowering male flowers or something, just to get the bees in. But when the bees know there's a plant and they start coming, they put the fruiting flowers in. These are my dwarf varieties of peas. My first peas here, the Feltham First. I'm letting these dry for seed for next year. But quite a few of Kelvin and Wonder, but there's more on the way. And even more under here. Really need the fleece on top, unless it dries out. I don't have time to water it. Finally, I got my alderman's peas growing, so there'll be some of those. And these are my old grey pea varieties. They grow well despite the weather, despite the drought, but they're not that tasty. Fortunately, it's more for fun than for eating. It's an old variety, so it's nice to get some seeds from it now and then. Here are my yellow raspberries. They're very nice, very sweet tasting, sort of grown in from the neighbor. So usually that's nothing you want, but these I look forward to every year, just as good as the red ones. That one went into my mouth. So I finally got the last of my brassicas out, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. These are some Brussels sprouts. They're supposed to stay in for quite a while, so I hope they have enough time to make something of themselves. They were quite tiny. I would have expected them to have grown a lot more on my balcony, but you never know. And here, as you can hardly see through the mesh, are my Brunswick cabbages. They're doing fine. This is a Calabrese broccoli. Haven't had any broccoli here for a few years, but they're also doing well. Haven't watered them much. They have deep roots. Passerby there asking for the way, for directions. Here's my corn, and I actually had to take a few steps back. It's growing incredibly well, and you can easily see the two varieties. The Golden Bantam is not nearly as high. The Painted Mountain is actually bred for drought resistance, so it's thriving. Haven't watered that very much either. Here's some radishes and carrots doing fine. Some black-seeded Simpson lettuce also doing fine. Haven't grown lettuce for a few years because of slugs, but my gamble paid off. I was hoping there wouldn't be enough slugs to make a difference here. And the dry weather was right. That brings us to the onions. Very nice as well. As I mentioned in earlier videos, I actually crop failed last year, so I'm happy to have a really nice crop of onions this year. And they're doing well. They'll probably grow a few weeks more, but actually I think they're pretty good sized now, so don't really have to. Well, I have some big ones here. And you really do see the difference between the two varieties. These are Bedfordshire Champion, quite round ones. And these are Stuttgarter type. They're flat. They look bigger than they are when you pull them up. And I'm sitting next to my poor old lavender bush, which gives some love and caring, and it's responded well to that. It's not a very nice shape, but it's flowering. It looks very, very nice. Now, the lavenders I started on my balcony, well, had some mixed results. They looked very well. Did very well for quite a while on my balcony, and then started dying suddenly. And, well, probably too soon to say, but I might have saved just one or two of them. I had 4 pots. Not really sure what happened there. They looked fine for a long time. Probably should have planted them out earlier. Well, you win some, you lose some. And even in this dry weather, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. I don't water too much with anything other than a watering can. I have this spreader here, and I put that on now and then. I try to keep it on not too often, but for a really long time, so it really pulls down into the ground. That seems to be working. Just watering a bit now and then, you only wet the top layers and that dries out quickly. And then the plants will look for water in the top layers of the ground, and when there's none, they'll dry out. It's better to to water less often and let the roots dig down deep for more water. That's how I understand it. Now, in between my two corn beds are my potatoes in the buckets. Not doing as well as I expected, or at least I hoped for. I don't know if it's I have too many potatoes in each. I have 3. I think I put perhaps 2 in one and 3 in the other 2. It's too crowded in there, or if I watered too little. But on the other hand, my potatoes usually look like this, and I'm not sure what that is. If it's blight, I usually get this, and the potatoes turn out all right anyway. So not sure what's going on here. Perhaps someone can tell me. They haven't flowered yet. I'm still waiting for that, so yeah. Sooner or later my curiosity will take overhand, and I have to dig something up and just see what's going on down there. Flowers or no flowers. I almost didn't include my flower box, if that's what you want to call it, but I will anyway. I have some chives, peppermint and coneflowers here, but what I really wanted to show you is my bee hotel, or bee house. It's for solitary bees, and it's almost fully occupied. It's very nice to see. So these are bees, unlike irregular bees which live in hives. These are solitary bees, so they are solitary, live one-on-one, and they make nests like this and put eggs in here. And I'm not sure. I've actually never seen something come out of these. I actually missed that, so I'm not sure if a fully grown bee emerges here, but I think that's how it works. And they're also very good pollinators, so it's something to encourage and try to get in your garden. So I'm sitting down behind the raspberry bushes. Try to get out of the wind for a while, and passers-by. Still not too comfortable speaking to myself or to the camera. I actually found out that sitting down in the raspberry bushes is a very good way of finding some ones you missed. Try to get a new perspective or something. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video, got something out of it. This is what my garden looks like in the end of June in southern Sweden, very dry southern Sweden. No rain in sight either. Hopefully they don't ban watering. They haven't done here yet, but I know they have in other parts of the country. So just waiting for the next thunderstorm or something. Well, if you did like this video, please give a thumbs up, and I'll be back in a few weeks with a new update. Goodbye. See you in the next one.